Hey everyone, my name is Esther. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to kind of elaborate a little on the spoken word that I have on my channel. I recorded it tonight and I kind of wanted to do kind of like a video to go along with the spoken word itself. So I recorded it on TikTok, I uploaded it to my YouTube and my Instagram, but I wanted to kind of share and break down like what I'm talking about, like what the actual like lyrics mean on the poem itself. And so um if this is your first time like kind of clicking on my channel, I talk a lot about self-worth. I talk a lot about purpose. I talk a lot about just accepting yourself and loving yourself and embracing your essence. Like I feel like that is beyond essential for you in your life, for you to be able to succeed, for you to be able to prosper, for you to be able to actually like build, like have a life that is fulfilling. I think that it's extremely important for you to be able to love yourself, accept yourself, and to be able to just embrace who you are without trying to be somebody else. So I share my life, my story, my mistakes, the things that I've learned like since like my childhood all the way up to adulthood. Like I'm so excited because I'm actually gonna be 31 next Sunday, God willing. And I'm like, yo, I've been through so much, but I'm in a place right now where I'm just really thankful. Like I have like a lot of gratitude with God, with the creator, because of everything that he has allowed me to go through and everything that he's been able to redeem me and kind of like restore me and lift me up from. So I'm just really thankful. So I'm just in a time period in my life where I'm learning, where I'm growing, where I'm like growing closer to the creator. And I'm just really excited to be on this platform, to be able to share with you guys and be able to share with you like the things that I've gone through. And a lot of the times, like the reason why I share all of these things, it's so that, you know, like people that are younger than me, like, bro, you don't have to go through the stuff that I went through. And so the poem that I wrote, it's called, The Exchange. And you know, I think that a lot of like the inspiration that I've gotten recently on like my poetry is I you guys are probably like, you're so freaking late to the party, but I just started listening to Javaya Ward and I really like her music. Like I really like her music. I like Deep Down, I like 17, I like 100, you know, like I say called 100 times. And so I was in the car with my husband and my husband's like, yo, she has like a really unique voice. Like her voice is really like unique. It's just she's an individual, you know, with her talent. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, her music's really good too because it's music that's relatable. And so when I was listening to her song like 17, and she's talking about how she everything that she went through like growing up like in her childhood, and then just being able to live her dream now and just being able to actually make it to where she wanted to make it. And so I was like, yo, I love that. I so relate to that because, you know, if you go all the way back to like the bottom of my channel, I share like a lot of my content right now is in Spanish, but I'm gonna start doing videos in English. And if you see the content that I have like way back to January, like I share pretty much like my whole life story as far as like my teenage years. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I think what I really like is just, you know, to be able to share those things and to actually look back and be like, wow, like I'm a completely different person. And the things that we do now, which going back to my spoken word, the things that the choices that you make now are the choices that are going to pave the way for your future. And I think we don't really think about that when we're younger. Like I definitely didn't think about that when I was like, you know, growing up, like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like I was not thinking like that. I think I really consciously woke up and realized like, yo, life is real. Life is like real is the moment that I got into a car accident when I was like 21. And that really shook me up because I was like, I could have died. And my friend actually got hurt like really bad. So the fact that I could have died, I was only 21 and my life was like in the dump. Like I have to make a video on that, but that'll be for another day. But my life was literally in the dump. And so I start off the poem by saying, you know, life has a way of unfolding before you. The choices we make pave the way. And I just want you to like kind of think about that, like consciously think about the choices that you are making right now, the people that you're hanging out with, the crowd that you want to be involved in, the friends that you want to have, the people that you're allowing to come into your life, the friends that you're deciding to open up your heart to, the people, the relationships, all of those things have consequences. And you know, it's interesting because you know, they say, like I have that written on another spoken word, they say guard your heart above all things, right? Because from it flows life. And so usually like as a kid, I feel like, or as a young teen, a young adult, it's so easy to just open up your heart to anybody, like a relationship, like a best friend, like whatever, like you meet somebody and then like I was really like that. I would open up my heart really easily to people, like to friends. Like I would just give myself away. Like you know how people say like you wear your heart on your sleeve, your emotions on your sleeve. Like that was just the type of person that I was. And so that's like you got to be conscious of that, like all of those things. And so you know, I think that every freaking person can relate to this. When you're younger, who doesn't want to be popular? Like, I feel like that was like one of the things. Nobody wanted to be the nerd, nobody wanted to be the geek, and nobody wanted to be the person that nobody wanted to chill with. I mean, you want to be part of the clique, you want to be involved in the circle. I mean, maybe not everybody, right? But I think everybody at some point probably had that desire internally where they were like, I want to fit in, I want to be pretty, I want to be popular, I want to have the attention from the boys and all that stuff. So I think because of the way that I grew up in my childhood, I think that I really desired that. I had a lot of deep voids, and maybe you're probably like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm not really feeling like I'm empty. But it's funny because now I didn't realize that back then, but now that I look back at my life, I realized like, yo, I had some empty voids. I had some deep holes in my life where I wanted them to be filled by popularity, by people, by, you know, my stance and who I was and stuff like that. So, my poem is just really talking about how there's a price to pay if you want to go down that route. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, back in the day, it was like dope. The cool kids, the kids that were dope, the kids that were popular, everybody was drinking, everybody was smoking, everybody was partying, everybody was skipping, everybody was going to skipping parties, everybody was rude to the teacher. That was just the thing to do and the thing to be, right? But if you think about it and you have that type of attitude, like, what are you going to do when you get out of high school? What are you going to do if you don't graduate? What are you going to do if you get pregnant? What are you going to do if you end up being with this guy and you get pregnant and he doesn't want to be with you anymore? So those are all things that we don't think about when we're within that territory and that atmosphere of, I want to be popular, I want to belong, I want to be part of the group. And so listen to this. I said, and sometimes in our emptiness, we wish for things that bury us. I saw the attention, I saw the stares. Here comes Janet, oh, did you see her? She looks fine, oh, let me see her. They say emptiness makes you desperate, but the deep holes I had were endless. And that's the thing, you guys, like nobody on this earth, on this planet, regardless of who they are, no matter how fine, nobody's been able to fill you. Like, the voids and the emptiness and all of those things that you have inside of you, they're not going to be able to be filled by a human being. And so we end up making the mistake of giving ourselves away to people when those people are not going to satisfy us in any form, shape, or way. Maybe they'll satisfy you for 5 minutes. Maybe they'll satisfy you for a couple months. But there's going to be a time when that person eventually is going to fail you, because we fail. We're human. And you can be left heartbroken because you cannot just give yourself away to someone, to something, to wanting to be a part of a group. And I think the other thing that we don't realize is that when you decide that you want to belong, right? You decide you want to be popular. You decide you want to be part of the clique. Well, honey, there's a price to pay, because the thing is that now, are you going to be yourself, or are you going to strive to be somebody else or who they want you to be in order for you to join that clique and that group and to be able to join that stance of popularity? And that's something that I went through and that I dealt with, because then it's like, well, I want you to be a down-ass chick, where I want you to do this, where I want you to do that. And when you don't have a backbone and an identity and you don't know your dignity, girl, you're just gonna leave everything on the table. You're gonna say, I'll take it, I'll be it, I'll do what you want me to do, because you have the emptiness, you have the voids, you don't have the backbone and the character to say, I don't care who the H you are. I'm not about to just give you everything. I'm not about to be this. I'm not about to be that just so that you can like me. And I think that's a lot of the issues that we have growing up, where if we don't correct and we don't course correct that area of our life, we become adults and we're still struggling with those insecurities. We're still struggling with those voids. We're still struggling with our identity and our dignity, and not knowing our worth and not valuing ourselves. So y'all, check this out. I said it's an heavy atmosphere of playing the part and them itching to see what you can give up. I lost myself and gave everything I had. Everyone wants to be popular. Everyone wants to be known. Everyone wants to belong. But there's a price to pay, young one. You'll be exchanging your soul. The exchange is, I'm gonna bury who I am so that I can be somebody else, so that you can like me. And that's the price that you don't want to take. That's the price that you don't want to give. And so I hope that if you listen to this entire video, or if you listen to a part of it, I legit hope that it just shakes up your conscience. It wakes you up to just the reality that whether or not you're in high school, whether or not you're in middle school, whether or not you're in elementary school, the reality is that in life, you have to get to the point that you have to embrace who you are, embrace your identity, realize that you have a dignity, realize that you have a price that surpasses like anything in this entire universe. And you know, before I end the video, I wanted to share this quick story with y'all. I was sharing with this young girl years ago, you guys, like years ago. And I told her, I said, I was like, yo, if you found $100 on the floor and it was all crumpled up and jacked up, but you would pick it up, right? Because you knew, like, it's $100. And I asked her, I said, now, what about you? Do you know your worth? Do you know how much do you know how much you're worth? And she literally looked at me and she was like, no. And she started crying. And guys, a lot of us don't know who we are. A lot of us don't realize like that we have purpose, that we have literally, like, you are created you're not just alive on this earth just because. You literally are created with a purpose. And I want to encourage you to seek that purpose out, to be able to embrace who you are, to not allow someone to treat you bad or humiliate you or make you feel bad about yourself for you being who you want to, for you being you. And I think that's really important for you to know. Be yourself, no matter what anybody says, no matter if they don't like the way that you are, it doesn't matter. Be you, because there's only one of you. And that is priceless in itself. I hope that you guys were encouraged by this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are interested in these type of topics, I hope that you subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video.